Welcome back, folks, to Let's Play The Legend of Kyrandia 3, Malcolm's Revenge. When last we left off, I discovered that if you don't pick the neutral way of getting through this part of the game, certain ways of leaving Kyrandia are locked off. If you're using just Stewart, you can't get a portal potion because Darm and Brandywine don't trust you. And if you're using Gunther, you can't get the Pegasus potion because you don't freeze Anthea. And she's the one that makes most of it. You just get the final ingredient. So here we are with Gunther at our side and Gunther alone as we go and get a squirrel. This squirrel will allow us to get a portal potion, eventually. It took quite a lot of training to get these sesame seeds, but we've got them. And so, we shall get one hypnotized squirrel.
Time to hypnotize, Mr. Squirrel. You're getting sleepy, very sleepy.
Marvellous.
Malcolm, the brave warrior.
We got what we needed, which was this squirrel. Now we have to go all the way back to that carpet. And while we're going, I'm going to mention that I think I've figured out how you're meant to use Herman. At the end of the game, you have all of those gems. And I think what the game presumes that you're going to do is you're going to collect a few items, like maybe a few things from the Isle of Cats, maybe you still have something from Limbo, and you'll use the firewood to make various things like toy soldiers or the rocking horse, and you may have a shoe or two which you'll use to make a leather ball. Then you go over to Herman's and you buy, using the gems, anything you really need to complete the game, like the crutch. You'll see why we need the crutch later, and also buying things that you could use to trade, like for instance the ball and the soldier and the rocking horse. And then you keep going back and hoping you get the trade you want.
Ow!
I have, by the way, found out that Herman will indeed sell and buy the same item. So he will sell a leather ball, and then he'll want to buy a leather ball, which effectively means that you're trading a gem for a pile of sesame seeds, which at that point of the game is a good
You
deal.
would put a rug in the sewer.
That said, I'd much rather that wasn't in the game at all, the trading thing.
The green apples glowing.
Let us go and say hello to Darm and Brandywine, and this time they'll be much more likely to help us. Off we go! Hello, you two. How are you? Let's go say hello to Darm.
Malcolm, when did you get back?
Hello, Darm. How's tricks?
How are you indeed? This conversation's going to go a little bit differently this time.
Do you have any portal potions? Or anything I can borrow? I've got to get to the Isle of Cats.
Portal potions? Ask Brandywine.
Oh, we will.
Surely you'll help me. Everybody has been turned into mice.
I suppose we should, as long as this is not another one of your tricks.
Oh, don't worry. It's not. Let's talk to Brandywine.
Malcolm, I thought you were gone for good.
I guess I'm hard to get rid of.
Oh, that he is.
Do you have any of those portal potions? I've got to get to the Isle of Cats.
Oh, that we do.
What's in it for me?
Are you going to help or not? Somebody has to rescue Kyrandia.
I suppose you're right. Bring me a squirrel as a gesture of good faith, and I'll see what I can do.
We have a squirrel this time, so this time we're not going to leave and then try to come back and find out that the carpet has disappeared and yet is still here. Have the squirrel.
Hey, Darm, wake up. Get one of my portal potions for Malcolm, will you please?
Sure, Cupcake, anything you want.
I don't know why Brandywine lowered her head and then raised it again. That gap in the conversation was odd. We now have one portal potion. That's good. We have all we need, which means we're going to leave. Goodbye, Darm. We don't even see you at the end of the game. Hello, doppelganger of us. we're going to drop all this stuff. We don't need any of it. Because we're not going to be doing any of the final item collection on this save anyway. All we need is this portal potion.
I bet I can climb back out of here.
I am going to be showing off the Isle of Cats, however, and the one big change that picking an alignment makes.
Stinky, but sort of fun. There's a lot of interesting stuff down there.
Indeed there is. So let us go over here and head over to the place where we can use that portal potion. We know where it will take us. It will take us into the ruins of the Cat Temple on the Isle of Cats, which is very convenient, because that means I can show off something else that I almost got right the first time round. Almost. For now, let's drink up.
I think it's time to get off this stinking island.
I agree. Magic portal away!
Wow, what a ride! Let's do that again if we get the chance.
Sadly, we'll get no second chance at doing that. If we leave here, the machete should be right here. There it is. Now, I wanted to dig up the bones that Duke had buried around this place the first time round, and I was nearly there. If you just click, there won't be the thing that tells you you're doing something, which is that the thing you're clicking will disappear, as in the machete would vanish off the screen. Doesn't give you that indication, so if you're not patient, you won't have something happen. But if we click here, we don't drop it, and instead, we dig. We didn't find anything there. We may find something here, though. We did. We found a bone. We can find many bones this way, and it will drastically speed up our collection of bones for the purpose of paying Fluffy. But I'm only going to grab these two, and then I'm going to go find Fluffy. Because there is one massive change if you're on either a good playthrough at the end or an evil playthrough. We're just going to clear away enough of these so that we can go over this way, because we don't really need to collect bones. But why? We needed 10 bones before. We did. But this is not before. So let's hack away at this right here. There we go. That's gone. This is gone. And I think we have to get rid of this as well. There we go. And then we can go this way. Deeper into the jungle. And then we go one screen up and we find Fluffy. There we go. One more bone. That doesn't matter. Ooh, loads of bones. It's like the game knows that I'm not going to be using them and is giving me loads out of spite. If only there'd been these kind of screens when I was doing it the first time round, it would have been that much better. But no, let's just head up, shall we? And of course clear away all the foliage, because we would want to go this way to get to that temple. Ooh, there we go. Or the altar rather, my mistake. We'll go this way. There's another bone. Now, I said that collecting bones here was useless. That is because we're going to have a conversation with Fluffy, and when I did this while I was playing through the good side to get to the good ending, I was amazed that this happened.
Fluffy, is that you?
Aha, you are back.
You look like you're still rebelling. Why?
Now we are fighting against the fat cats. We have grown lazy. We must return to our natural ways. Food that appears magically is not good for us.
Down with the fat cats.
Well, gee, any chance I could get a few of those gems from the Colossus?
Here, take this small cheesemaker.
Use it to topple the decadent Colossus.
Thanks. You are an exceptional cat.
You are indeed our brother. Cats of the world, unite!
Wonderful! A cheesemaker. Just what we've always wanted.
If you're not playing the neutral run, you don't have to collect any bones at all. That amazed me. I don't think...
Really thick.
I don't think being able to pick which way you want to leave Carandia is worth the exchange of not having to collect 10 bones for Fluffy. And just to prove that this is exactly the same on the good side of this, here we are with Stewart. And if we try to offer one of these bones up, this happens.
All I need from you is your patriotic support.
Let us go and say hello and get pretty much the same dialogue.
Fluffy, is that you?
Aha, you are back.
You look like you're still rebelling. Why?
Now we are fighting against the fat cats. We have grown lazy. We must return to our natural ways. Food that appears magically is not good for us.
Down with the fat cats.
Well, gee, any chance I could get a few of those gems from the Colossus then?
Here, take this small cheesemaker.
Use it to topple the decadent Colossus.
Thanks. You are an exceptional cat.
You are indeed our brother. Cats of the world, unite!
There. Somebody trusts you. Doesn't that make you feel better about yourself?
Picking the neutral path is the harder way to play, at least at this point. We want to go to a different part now. We want to go and have a look at one more thing, which is, I'll go to, shall we say, over all the way back to, say, here. Here, we're about to go do some trading with Herman, because there's one item that Herman will offer that we haven't shown off yet.
I bet I can climb back out of here.
I bet you can, and this specifically has both Gunther and Stewart, because I want both of their reactions to this.
Yick! What a disagreeable passage.
Indeed.
Don't complain, pal. It worked.
That is a nice touch, which is that there's different dialogue if you only have one of them, and there is unique combined dialogue if you have the two. It's quite nice that they added all of this attention to detail that you're probably not going to see unless you play the game multiple times. Maybe on the box it advertised that there were many different ways to solve the problems, and that made people experiment. I didn't know the first time round, except that people told me as I was going through. It's very interesting, and I'm certainly, from doing this and seeing all the extra stuff, I'm seeing all of the extra things that you wouldn't normally look at when you're playing through the first time round. Hello, Herman.
So, what do you have for sale?
At this moment, I am selling this beautiful item.
That is exactly what we want. That is a knife. That is the enchanted knife that killed William. We know that it is cursed and that anyone of Carandian royal blood that touches it will be stabbed to death, and we happen to be of Carandian royal blood. So let's buy it, shall we? But first, let us save, because this is a terrible idea. It is a very, very terrible idea. Let us purchase that knife.
I wouldn't buy that if I was you.
We are him, you idiot.
We're warned not to buy it. And then this.
That's fair. It's yours.
We buy it, and then we click this. Warning, PG-37 rating. Attention, the following animation sequence contains material of an excessively violent and somewhat unlikely biological nature that is not suitable for general viewing. You must be at least 37 years of age or have a note from your parents to view this sequence. We could skip it, but we do have a note. I am most certainly not old enough. I have the note right here. Let's see just what they're referring to. Uh-oh. I think we're in trouble. And of course, a squirrel at the end. Always with the squirrels, eh?
Oops. That had to hurt.
That was totally uncalled for. I'm going to have to report somebody to the authorities.
I'm actually curious. What if we decide to skip that cutscene?
that's fair. It's yours.
Also, not paying attention points. If you decide to buy this, you're definitely not paying attention. Let's skip that, shall we? Does it make any difference? It does! You don't actually see the death scene at all. It just says, rest in peace. We want to actually load a game, because we're going to do the good ending. We're quite ready for the good ending, but before we do the good ending, we're going to show off what happens with that crutch, because remember, in the neutral playthrough, we got a crutch and it did nothing. It's about to do something now. We're going to fix this machine with it, because it's broken right now, but the crutch will balance it again.
Say, you're not a bad mechanic.
Thank you.
Splendid. You have some unexpected capacity for honest work, I see.
Marvellous. We've now fixed the machine. I don't know why it was fixed before in the neutral playthrough. Now let us go to the good ending. I have this save here, right next to, right next to the voice of reason. We have all the items that we need. Let us get things going.
But we don't have the required 7 people.
I can override that requirement just long enough for us to get a preview.
Is this any different? Probably not.
Malcolm did not kill
We
us.
can skip it by clicking.
There is a and he will be.
There we go. That's fine. Now we just need to hand over the sandwich.
Excellent. You have assembled all the required elements.
Yeah, but how are we supposed to get the Commandians in here? They won't budge.
If they won't come here, we will have to visit them in the parlor.
There is one thing I need to note before we do the end of the game again. And that is that if you do try to hand over that fish cream sandwich before you get the trial thing going, he'll just eat it. And considering how hard it is to get those sesame seeds, you really don't want to do that. Also, this time round, I left these 2 as mice and didn't change them back. Let's skip through this bit and get to you talking, because this part is unchanged.
Now, any will be.
Yep, still not convinced, are they? Especially considering you're skipping the dialogue.
Let us view the
This will go
events
quite
in
fast.
with what
The
Malcolm and I
cutscene
we have
for
roasted like
William.
last.
Here it is. Super fast.
As you have seen, my faithful cousin Malcolm is innocent. I think you, Calic, have particular need of delivering an apology.
Now different dialogue.
Congratulations, Malcolm. Nice to have you back.
I'm just glad it's all cleared up now.
I love this part of my job.
Oh my goodness, this is very embarrassing.
So does this mean you're my uncle? My half-cousin?
Finally, a clean slate, a fresh start. Who could ask for more?
There's one more change. It's coming up now.
I'm glad that's over. Next on my agenda is a nice long nap in my own bed.
If anybody deserves a nap, it's you.
Stewart doesn't leave.
At last.
Well, I've got some errands to run. I'll see you after your nap.
This makes me think that the neutral playthrough is the canonical one. But I don't know about the canonicity of any of the endings here. There is another subtle change that occurs very soon. It's not the first one, though.
Yeah, you did good. And you scored a lot of points, too.
By the first one, I mean the first person to visit. They're unchanged. Hello, you again. You're really going to annoy Malcolm, aren't you? Don't worry, we have a way of getting rid of you.
Good evening, sir. Don't be alarmed. I've thrown down that dirt to provide a demonstration of the remarkable ZQ4000 vacuum and home hygiene system.
And I'd like to demonstrate the Malcolm 4000 unwanted salesman removal system.
Goodbye! The final change is coming up now. The dialogue with Calic and Brandon. Mainly because they're mice, but also because of the good playthrough.
Excuse us, but we're still mice. Could you change us back?
Xanthia is out of cheese.
Maybe later I'll do the cheese thing. But for now, beat it. I'm taking a nap here.
Even though he's good now, some things about Malcolm never change. And this part at the end isn't different either. And so, after this little bit at the end, we will go to the evil playthrough, where we'll see what we do with the crutch, and also how this end part goes when you're with Gunther alone.
There you are! Did you forget about us? Daddy!
And here we are, back in the fish cream sandwich parlour. You'll notice that the person who mans this place isn't here. They're still in the jail. We haven't let them go either. So we need to fix this machine and then make the fish cream sandwich all by ourselves, which is exactly the same, except we get to press that button. We haven't been able to press that the whole game. Now's our chance. Button pressing time. That is fixed, and we don't get a comment from Gunther. One thing in, second thing in, third thing in. Excellent. Now, the button. It's very anticlimactic.
Good old fish cream machine.
It is indeed old. According to you, though, it's not that good. We have the sandwich, which means that we can now leave. And head over to the end of the game, this time with only Gunther here. Will the dialogue be different? Yes, it will, but not as different as I would have liked. The endings aren't dramatically different.
Ow.
It's generally what's said by Malcolm and what's said by a few other people that's different. Right, we now need to deal with this.
But we don't have the required 7 people.
No, we don't.
I can override that requirement just long enough for us to get a preview.
Thanks, Victor. That's you from Lands of Lore 1.
Malcolm did not kill us. There is any will be.
That is unchanged. Now we're going to hand over the sandwich.
Excellent. You have assembled all the required elements.
Yeah, but how are we supposed to get the Carandians in here? They won't budge.
If they won't come here, we will have to visit them in the parlor.
And we will. For the third and final ending of the game. That's quite some magic you've got there, by the way, Voice of Reason. If only you could have used that to get us all the way over to the Isle of Cats. And also, I left Calic and Brandon as mice this time as well. Let's complete the game again. This is unchanged.
Now, any will.
I don't think
So we'll skip it.
Super
fast flashback.
As you have seen, my faithful cousin Malcolm is innocent. I think you, Calic, have particular need of delivering an apology.
And now, new dialogue.
Congratulations, Malcolm. Nice to have you back.
It's about time. What a pain in the butt this has all been.
Who cares? What's fun about this?
I suppose I owe you an apology.
Ooh, now that's fun. Grovel some more, you liar, you cheater, you low-life scum. You... Say, Calic, who handles your conscience work? You have any openings? Maybe some consulting work? Anything fun you can throw my way?
So, does this mean I'm your uncle? Your mother's half-cousin?
Hip, hip, who cares? Let's go take that nap.
Well deserved too.
I'm glad that's over. Next on my agenda is a nice long nap in my own bed.
What's fun about that?
At last.
Rest time. And no comment from Gunther. Gunther cares not for the nap. There's one more small change, and it's with Calic and Brandon.
Yeah, you did good. And you scored a lot of points, too.
We did. Rest well. We know how this goes, though. Hello, you. We can skip this too by clicking.
Good evening, sir. I throw the
And I'd like to demonstrate the Malcolm 4000 unwanted salesman removal.
And the super fast throwing. Whee!
Excuse us, but we're still mice. Could you change us back?
No.
Xanthia is out of cheese.
You're not very good at interpersonal relationships, are you? Beat it. I'm taking a nap here.
And off he goes to rest. And soon we will have the conclusion of the game. I have a summary to give, and it's different to what I thought it would be, considering the ending the first time round. But we'll be back for that after this.
There you are! Did you forget about us? Daddy!
No, we did not.
My eyesight must be going. Those trees look blurry.
That's because they are blurry, Malcolm. And also, look at this that you can click.
A rabbit plant.
There are so many little bits of detail that you wouldn't notice unless you click around. And that is one of the things that I have to say in conclusion to this game. Legend of Kyrandia 3 Malcolm's Revenge is a game that is indeed flawed. It definitely has its downsides. It has a lot of padding. It has actions that you do over and over again, and those things are not especially enjoyable, like making the fish cream sandwiches or collecting the bones. But it also has a remarkable amount of depth to it. There are lots of different ways that you can go about doing things, and if you know exactly what to do in this game, if you know all of the shortcuts for the grinding of items, like the getting of the fish cream sandwiches and the bone collecting, and if you decide to play either a good or an evil playthrough and thus avoid the second bit of bone collecting, you could get through this game exceptionally quickly. Limbo could be breezed over if you know what to do with the person trading items. Everything in this game has a quick way of doing things and a slow, but more guaranteed way of doing things, and that is a good thing. Unfortunately, the slow and more guaranteed way of doing things is usually quite tedious and just labour intensive, with going between lots of screens and clicking to get things and then trading them for more things. If the rubbish dump had been closer to the town, it would be much easier to do a lot of the things, but the rubbish dump is all the way over at the castle. It's these little things that detract from the game. There are good things about it that aren't just the many different ways of doing things. I quite like the voice acting. I like Malcolm, even though he's a different voice actor compared to the first game's Malcolm. And I like that certain people have returned from the Kyrandia series, and I also like that people from other Westwood games have also made an appearance in this one. I don't like some of the directions that the plot takes. I also don't like that if you skip certain things, like not getting imprisoned, certain parts of the plot don't make any sense at all, like Rowena. But the game is still enjoyable. It's very difficult for you to get in an unwinnable situation in this game. As opposed to other point-and-click adventure games, the Kyrandia games are actually pretty good when it comes to that. And in general, it still has that amount of zaniness that the Kyrandia games still possess. from the first to the third, they all have that definite Westwood touch when it comes to the humour and also the way that it's presented, although the backgrounds for this game I don't think look as nice as the previous ones. But they have grown on me. I have got used to seeing them and just, I don't even think twice about it now. It's kind of weird in a sense that as I played I got very used to it, and I can't say that I like them, but I certainly think that they're passable and they do the job. I'd have much preferred the backgrounds to be the same as they were in Carandia 1 and 3 though. But do I like this game? I'm surprised to say that actually I do like it. I didn't think I liked it that much after I completed it the first time round. There were things I did like, but they were outweighed by the things that I didn't like. But after playing through all of the extra stuff and seeing all of the depth and all of the effort put into things that you may never see on a first playthrough, I have to say I'm very impressed, and the music is still fantastic. The music in this game is really good. And even the tracks that I didn't like immediately have grown on me. With the possible exception of the Limbo tune. The Limbo tune was just a little bit peculiar, but this tune, really good. Quite a lot of the tunes are really good. Would I play this game again? I don't know. Compared to Carandia 1 and 2, I think I've seen all this game has to offer, and I'm not sure I'd return to it, but I definitely enjoyed my time with this game. And if you do like point-and-click adventure games, and you like the Carandia series, it is worth giving this game a look. Giving it a chance, because I'm glad I gave it a chance. It wasn't quite what I was expecting, and certain parts of it definitely disappointed me, but other parts really impressed me. And so, if you like games from this time period, the mid-90s point-and-click adventure games, give Carandia 3 a go. You'll like something about it. You may not like the laugh track. I personally really liked the laugh track. Sometimes it was on point. Admittedly, sometimes it was entirely off because it's completely random when it occurs, but I still think it was a nice touch. There were lots of things that poked fun at games of the time, and also just general things of the time. And I don't think any of the jokes are dated, because I don't think any of them reference anything in the culture of the 90s at the time. It does, however, have its own unique sense of humour, like Carandia does, and if you don't like that, you probably won't like this. You won't like the Herman trading, though. I don't think anybody likes that. But in conclusion, I'm surprised with how much of this game I did enjoy, and also, look at this nice touch. Shadowy area, light area. Little things like this. I only just noticed that right now. Little pieces of detail that are put into this game that show that a lot of love and care and attention was put into it. It's just a shame that it's marred by all of the padding. Padding that you can mostly avoid, but still padding. And so, I think that concludes The Legend of Carandia 3, Malcolm's Revenge, and with it, the entire Carandia series. Run away, flowers! Run from the end of the Let's Play! Because it indeed is over. And when we come back, folks, something different completely. Not a point-and-click adventure game. Not a game made by Westwood. Something that I've been looking forward to playing for quite a while. Something very different to what I've been playing recently. And I'll say nothing else about that. But I won't have the last word here. It will be Malcolm. So I'm Kikoskia, and that was Let's Play Carandia 3, Malcolm's Revenge, The Legend of Carandia. The legend has ended. There was no Carandia 4. There never will be a Carandia 4, most likely. We'll never find out who gave William that knife. It seemed to be a plot thread that was left for a potential sequel. We'll never know. And so, I think Malcolm deserves that nap now. You deserve the rest. You have been doing a lot of item collection. A lot of it indeed. And so, I'll catch you next time, folks, and I'll see you then. Later.
Oh boy, we're having fun now.